So when we go through and we work through this, we're actually going to have 4 different sides. So I'm going to go ahead and label these. We'll just say this one's A, B, C, and D. And so when I write these out, I'm going to have 4 different equations, A, B, C, and D. So when I look at my shape that I have here, I like to start with the things that are the easiest to do. So that would be my straight lines across. So when I look at, for example, B, and if I were to take this line of B and extend it all the way across, just because it's only 4 boxes wide doesn't mean that that line doesn't extend all the way across. Okay, that's very similar to what we just reviewed through. And so when we do this, we have no slope. So we don't have that x portion of our equation. We're just going to have the y equals. And then where it crosses the y line, and that's between 6 and 4. It's not labeled on there, so that would be 5. And D is going to be also similar to that. So it crosses this line right here. Although it doesn't cross the y line, if we were to extend that line out, it would cross at -2. So there is no slope to that side, but it crosses at -2 if we were to extend out that side to see where it would cross or extend out that side to see where it would cross out our y-intercept. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and work with our other 2 sides. I'm going to erase the stuff that I don't need here. So if I were to work off of side A, we're going to go ahead and do our y-intercept equation. So we've got our y equals, here's where our slope is. So I know that I have to count that out yet, but I can see right away that it's crossing right here on the y-intercept. So I'm going to go ahead and plug that part into my equation, and that is at +5. Okay, so if I go ahead and now do my slope, I'm noticing that it doesn't matter where I pick, but here's the next box as to where it's crossing a corner of a line. So when I look at that and I count out the slope, the rise and the run, okay, our rise and our run would be 1/1, which would be a 1x. And that is positive because it's going from left to right, it's going up. Okay, so now let's go ahead and look at C. So once again, I like to identify where it crosses the y line, which is right there. So y equals something x, and then it's crossing the y line at +1. So +1 is going to be the back half. Now if I go through and I do my my slope, here it's crossing another corner. So our rise is 1, our run is 1. We get 1/1, which is the same as just 1. What are you noticing about A and C in terms of how they're similar? They both have the same slope. So just a reminder that when you have parallel lines, your parallel lines are always going to have the same slope part. Okay, so if they have a slope, but granted, B and D were also parallel. These ones were also parallel, but they didn't have a slope, so they don't have that. They have a slope of 0, which you don't put that into the equation. But when you have a parallelogram, you're always going to have 2 sides that are equal to each other than where they cross that y-intercept. So what I would like you to do for your homework is to finish out pages 55 and then also do letter A on page 56. Okay, that's it for this part. This was just the activity for 3.1. So good luck with that.